When Cristiano Ronaldo was back at Sporting, it wasn't just Man United who were interested in signing him. In fact, another Premier League club were ahead in the race. That's right, Arsenal already had an agreement with Ronaldo. In fact, Arsene Wenger went out on a couple of lunches with Ronaldo and his mother. Cristiano even visited the Arsenal training ground. The deal looked almost done. And can you imagine, this would have changed football history forever. Ronaldo playing alongside Thierry Henry. But instead, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson swooped in and Man United outbid Arsenal, and the rest, as they say, is history. Today, we're building a team of transfers that never happened. And Ronaldo to Arsenal is a good shout, so he's going to be the first player in our team. That's right, we're going to build an entire team of transfers that never happened. And trust me, some of the stories we've got here are absolutely crazy. Like our next player, Steven Gerrard. Most of us know Gerrard as the most loyal player of all time, pretty much his entire career at Liverpool. But back in 2005, after Liverpool miraculously won the Champions League, Gerrard was close to joining Chelsea. It seemed like he was tired of not winning the big trophies like the Premier League, and he thought at Chelsea under maybe Jose Mourinho, he could win that Premier League trophy. But ultimately, Gerrard decided to stay loyal to Liverpool. In his autobiography, he said, "Couldn't imagine not waking up a Liverpool player." And so we never got to see Gerrard in blue. Unlike Ronaldo though, maybe Gerrard did make a mistake, because after 2005, Liverpool didn't really win a lot. They were in their banter era, and Chelsea won quite a few Premier Leagues. So if Gerrard made this move, he would be a Premier League medalist. Well, the good thing is at least we get to buy Gerrard for our team. And there you go, he's our second player in this squad. Now let's move on to the goalkeeper position, where my first option was David De Gea. Now there's a crazy story around this. We all remember De Gea playing for Man United, but briefly, Real Madrid were heavily interested in signing De Gea. But you won't believe it. A broken fax machine was the reason the deal fell through. La Liga couldn't get the paperwork done, and De Gea lost his opportunity to play for the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. De Gea would have been perfect for our transfers that never happened team. Sadly though, he's not in FC 25. Weirdly enough, he does play for Fiorentina these days. EA, what are you doing? Add De Gea back into the game. Instead though, we're gonna have to go with one of the most iconic goalkeepers of all time, Gigi Buffon. Now throughout his career, he's been linked to a lot of different clubs. In fact, most recently, he said he had the option to go and join Barcelona and be their backup keeper. He never did that, but he also had plenty of offers from Premier League clubs. But of course, he chose to stay loyal to Juventus for most of his career, even during their relegation scandal. But back when he was playing at Parma, there were heavy rumors linking him to Premier League club Chelsea. Ultimately, though, he chose Juventus, and I think he chose right because he became a legend there. And there you go, we're putting 91 rated icon Buffon in the team. Just realized we've now got two players that almost joined Chelsea. I'm curious which club is going to have the most failed transfers in this team. For our next player though, looks like Arsenal are taking the win this time, because I'm talking about Emmanuel Petit. Of course, he was a fantastic midfielder in his time, won the World Cup, was also part of the Invincibles Arsenal team. But Petit's career could have gone a completely different way because he was linked with Spurs. In fact, the deal was almost done. Emmanuel Petit had already completed a meeting with the Spurs chairman, but on the way back, he got a call from a certain Arsene Wenger, and that was enough to convince him to go to Wenger's house and secure that Arsenal deal. Fun fact, it was Tottenham who had to cover the cost of that cab. 87 Emmanuel Petit goes right into the team. Oh, and once we assemble this team of transfers that never happened, of course I'm going to be playing one game of FC 25, where for every goal I lose by, one random discard. So apart from these transfers failing, I might fail too, because we'll have to discard someone crazy expensive. We're picking our right back next, and it's a Barcelona player, Jules Kounde. But before Barca, he was playing at Sevilla, and at that time he rose to fame, and so there were a lot of clubs interested in him. One such club was again Tottenham. They desperately wanted Kounde, and they had agreed a deal worth over 56 million with Sevilla. But guess what? Kounde rejected them. Of course, he was going to choose Barcelona over Spurs, and I guess it did work out well for Kounde because he did win La Liga, and at Spurs he would have kind of been trophyless. There you go, our right back position sorted. The next player in our team actually came very close to even winning a Ballon d'Or. That's right, I'm talking about Virgil van Dijk. Of course, we all know the story, how he moved from Southampton to Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool have made it a habit of signing Southampton players, but this time there was more controversy. Liverpool were accused of tapping up Van Dijk, which is basically trying to negotiate outside the window, and it started to look like Van Dijk to Liverpool was not going to happen. Instead, Man City were an option. Can you imagine Van Dijk joining Man City? Bro, City would literally have the most broken team of all time. Haaland up top, Rodri in midfield, and VVD at the back. Now, I'm so glad glad it didn't work out, because actually Van Dijk personally made the choice of joining Liverpool because he believed in Jurgen Klopp's project. So there you go, VVD goes into the team. Now, to complete our centre-back partnership, we've got a Brazilian centre-back who goes by the name of Bremer. Now, we know he made the move to Juventus, and since then he's been unbelievable, but Bremer had already made an agreement with Inter back when he was playing at Torino. Inter kind of huffed and puffed and waited to get the deal over the line. Bremer wasn't having it, and he decided to choose to sign for Juventus, which caused chaos among all the Inter fans. But you know what? Maybe if Bremer joined Inter, Inter would have had the team to win that Champions League final that they lost. Oh, Bremer's card is absolutely disgusting. 85 pace, 89 defending. Not gonna lie, this card might be better than VVD's. Moving on to the left back position, and we've got Roberto Carlos here. Of course, the Real Madrid legend, the Brazil icon. But back in his early days, he was very close to joining Aston Villa. That's right, Aston Villa of all clubs. Not just them, even their rivals Birmingham. Can you imagine Roberto Carlos in the Premier League? To be fair, I think he would have scored some banger free kicks there too. But of course, he instead decided to go to Inter for only £3 million back then. Ultimately, though, the very next year, Real Madrid came calling. So maybe if Roberto Carlos just made the move to Aston Villa, eventually he would end up at Real Madrid. So yeah, this wouldn't really affect football history all that much. Yo, they called me a pro trader, man. I just want to bid for Roberto Carlos. Let's go. Still had to pay 1.3 million coins for him. But that's our left back sorted. Now we've got 3 really interesting positions. And before we get into them, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. We're picking our striker first, and you won't believe a volcanic eruption is the reason Robert Lewandowski is making this team. That's right, back in 2010, before Lewandowski became Lewandowski, he was playing in Poland, and there were a lot of clubs scouting him, including, of course, Dortmund, but also Blackburn Rovers, who were then in the Premier League, were interested in signing Lewandowski. Blackburn's manager was Big Sam at the time, and Lewandowski was actually interested in joining them. They had scheduled a meeting in Blackburn, but you won't believe it. There was a volcanic eruption in Iceland. Because of that, flights to Blackburn were cancelled, and Lewandowski never got to go there. And ultimately, he chose Borussia Dortmund, and the rest is history. Now, it would be interesting to see what would have happened to Lewandowski's career if he had made the move to Blackburn. Maybe he would have become a Premier League legend, breaking the all-time goal scorer record. I guess we'll never know. For now, though, he's our striker. Looks like even our next player could have ended up joining Blackburn Rovers, because in 1995, a young Zinedine Zidane, who was playing at Bordeaux, had an opportunity to sign for them. Of course, this time things were different because Blackburn were one of the best teams in England. They had just won the Premier League, but the owner of Blackburn rejected this transfer, literally saying, "Why do we need Zidane when we've got Tim Sherwood in midfield?" Well, I guess because Zidane's one of the all-time greats of the game. Well, it's Blackburn Rovers' loss, because Zidane went on to win a World Cup, Ballon d'Ors, playing for some of the biggest clubs in the world, and now playing for our team too, because we're buying him for 3.2 million coins. Bro, what an incredible team this is. I mean, if I lose with this team, I deserve to discard players because it's literally too good. Before we pick our final player, this team needs a gaffer, and I think Pep Guardiola would be absolutely perfect, because when there were rumors about him moving to the Premier League, the Man United managerial post was vacant. There were rumors he was going to take the job, but instead he snubbed Man United and took over the Man City post. And even to this day, he's still in charge. So I guess he fits our team. But now heading to our final player to complete the team, it's none other than Leo Messi. Now everybody knows he's Barcelona's golden boy. It never looked realistic of him leaving. Back in 2006, clubs like Inter Milan wanted him on loan. Arsenal wanted to sign him, but he never moved there. But of course, in 2021, when it became clear that Messi was finally leaving Barcelona, he had a few good options. One of them was Man City. And that deal would have probably gone through if Man City hadn't spent 100 mil on freaking Jack Grealish. Could you imagine if Messi had gone to Man City and played for Pep Guardiola once again? It would have been glorious. Instead, of course, he made the move to PSG, which turned out to being a bit of a flop. There you go. We complete the team with Messi. Oh, it's a 90 rated squad. And so this is the team of transfers that never happened. And look at that, boys. We've got the Blackburn kids. Lewandowski finally has got his move to Blackburn. Oh, and he plays the pass to Zidane. We could get the first goal. Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course he scores. Remember, boys, we need to win this game because I don't want any discards. Oh, what a ball that was from Leo Messi. Lewandowski celebrating in a Blackburn shirt. I think even if he joined Blackburn, he would have still scored a ton of goals. Oh, we could get a third goal here with Cristiano. Oh, it's been saved for Lewandowski with the tap in. Lewandowski gets another one. I told you we weren't losing with this team. Rage quit in the bag, which means I don't have to discard anyone. Now, if you enjoyed this video, watch me build the most aggressive team in FC25. Click here.